some other beat. Sooner or later.
I'm just finishing my 20th book. For the last 10 years, I've been involved only in writing about cutting-edge health, non-pharmaceutical health if necessary. I'm not anti-pharmaceutical, but only resort to Western medicine when absolutely necessary. In any other instance, I always look for an alternative, a natural way, a non-drug way to heal or alleviate whatever condition I'm experiencing. 5 years ago, I met David Schmidt, the founder of Lifeway.
Hello.
Hey there. Good
Hi, good
morning.
seeing
Good
you.
morning. Hi.
Good
Could
morning.
you good morning. Are you yeah, just turn it one more time. Once there you are. Up, you just had it. Nope. Keep going, keep going, keep going. One more. Turn it one more. The right there. Up, you almost had it. Keep going one more. it's no, you're upside down now.
Yeah, I'm upside down.
Perfect. Just like that. Just like that. There you
Okay.
go.
Good
Up,
morning.
you're you're sideways again. Well, okay, right there. Just like that.
Okay.
Is
Okay.
is are you on a phone?
Yeah, I'm
Are
on my
you on a
phone.
phone, Michelle?
Yes, I'm on my
Okay,
phone.
that's why.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if you're on the phone, I've had this happen to me where you have to, you basically have to like anchor it or lean it up against something because look at, here's how you, okay, I just want to show you. Here's how you look. I was going to show you how you look, okay? Just so you can see how you look.
Is this
Okay,
better?
wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, that's good. I think, yeah, right there. Perfect.
Okay.
Just like that. Okay, beautiful.
Okay. Good morning.
So, good morning. How's the weather in Pasadena?
It's about 70 at the time.
Okay,
Yeah, it's not going to get
okay.
too hot today.
That's what it is here in Charlotte, North Carolina. So,
Okay.
I am broadcasting from Charlotte, North Carolina to Michelle, who is in Pasadena, California. Welcome, 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 everybody. We have quite a audience gathering here, so that's great. That's great.
Oh my God, I should have done my hair. I didn't know I was
Oh,
broadcast live.
hey, look it. I didn't do mine, so don't worry. Hey,
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So here is the exciting thing. What we are going to be doing, and just tell me again. Do you drink Kangen water?
Yes, for 10 years.
Wow, you
Well,
have me.
I'm shy a couple of months.
Okay,
It'll be
well, you
10
have me
years.
beat. I was going to say I've been drinking for 9, so you have me beat there, Michelle. That's pretty
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of things have been changing over the last 40 years with the technology and the science. I mean, look at, I think the ionization concept, electrolysis and converting water and making it microclustering and making it high antioxidant. That science has been around now over 40 years because I know the company that you and I both use, they've been around over 40 years, probably even older than, longer than that.
Right.
So it's not a brand new technology. That's what I'm trying to get at, so that people understand it's replacing bottled water. That's
Right.
for sure. So nobody should be drinking bottled water. And if you do drink
Especially
bottled,
not I because of what I went through. I would
and I
never.
want to hear you, right, and I want to hear your story, and I want people to kind of hear, how you've gone from having deteriorating health to now got to the point where what your health is today. So maybe you can kind of take us through and kind of tell us the story.
Okay. What happened was I was 50 years old. I was feeling a little sick, tired. So one day, one morning, about 4:30 in the morning, I was in the shower and I decided to give myself a self breast exam. So as I was doing it, I found a lump and I was scared. So what I did was I immediately called my doctor so that he can check me and take care of whatever we needed to take care of. So I did that. I went in, I met with the doctor. He didn't feel anything. And when I took my finger and I allowed him to touch the lump that I was feeling, um, he felt it and he says, "Yeah, there is something there. So don't worry about anything. We'll get it checked and we'll take care of you." I said, "Okay." So I found out, about 5 days later that I had invasive ductal carcinoma, which is your basic breast cancer. So after that, I met with the surgeon that had to do a biopsy to confirm with the pathologist, my condition. And it turned out that they decided that it was not invasive ductal carcinoma, but inflammatory breast cancer, which is the worst type you can get. And during the test, while they take my blood and test everything else, I found out that I had the BRCA gene as well as the HER2. And that's not good because it's harder to fight. It's inherited. My grandmother had breast cancer. She didn't die of it. She died of a blood clot, but I inherited it. So anyhow, to make a long story short, that was in December of 2010. I started chemo 2 weeks later. And after that, I was cancer free when I had a single radical mastectomy. And after that, maybe 6 months later, I was cancer free after the surgery. But about a week later, I started developing rash and bruises all over my chest and my back. And they didn't know what it was. So they thought it was some type of dermatitis. So I went to City of Hope here in California, one of the greatest cancer centers. And they tested me and they found out that it was cancer. They thought it was just, rash or something, but it wasn't. It was cancer. So here I go again. I had just started chemotherapy and radiation. And so I had to do another 8 weeks of radiation because of it. And there I was on chemo once again, hardcore chemo this time, because now it's considered metastatic breast cancer because it returned. So I went from 2011 all the way into 2016 until they tested me and found out that I had no evidence. I was NED, as they call it, no evidence of the disease. And I honestly can tell you that I really think that Kangen water saved my life. I have a nephew that worked for Enagic and at the time, and he was in New York selling the big machines to the water distributors, the stores in New York. They carry the big machines that really have the good Kangen water. And he told me, Aunt Mick, if you want to save your life, drink 3 liters of water each day, change your diet and just do everything alkaline. And you'll see results, because my friend's mother had it. She had 3 months to live, and she started drinking the water, and it was a miracle. It saved her life. So I said, well, what can I lose? I'm already sick. So I started drinking the water, and I can see my skin changing. All the chemos really dried my skin. It gave me a lot of wrinkles. I mean, I'm back there again, but I just stopped another chemo because I'm on maintenance. And I couldn't get out of bed 3 weeks ago. I was asleep probably till 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And my dog, I have a rescue dog, and he was on my schedule. So we both slept. He slept at the foot of my bed. And now that I'm on my patches, he's looking at me like, what's up, Mom? Why can't we sleep? So we're up at 4:30 in the morning, and we don't go to bed until 9 o'clock at night or 10. So he can't believe it. He looks at me very strange because these patches and drinking the water, I'm telling you, I'm trying to tell everybody that it's miraculous. It really is.
Wow, what a story, Michelle. That's just so, it touches people, because look, there are people every single day that are dying from what people could prevent just by making some changes, making a couple of habit changes, like you just said, getting your diet more alkaline, drinking Kangen water. And now with this new historical breakthrough technology, and I mean literally for me, when I thought, and I do research and I'm constantly looking, but when I thought about stem cell therapy, I was like, wow, that would be really interesting. I'm not like dying of a disease or anything, but just the idea of what else it can do. It can regenerate dead tissue, make your skin look younger, smoother, just give you more energy, etc. I thought, hey, maybe I should see. It's so expensive, Michelle. I mean, you probably even know people It's
Absolutely.
thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars just to take if they use your blood to take it where you do have some good stem cell and then re-inject it into another part of your body to help boost and regenerate. And I spoke to one woman from, I think she was Atlanta, in her 40s, and she had just paid like $5,000-6,000 to have 4 injections, 4 separate needles go in, and she was in such pain just to do that. Plus, it laid her out for a whole week. I thought, no, that's just not something. And right around that time, I was introduced to this stem cell technology by someone who was drinking Kangen water, who had been drinking Kangen water for a long, long time, actually pretty high up in the company, even in the business. And I said, wow, I would love to, hear more about it. So I found out more about it. I ordered it just like you. And just like you, I wear, you know, my patch every single day. And it was the weirdest thing because you know how it is when you drink Kangen water. I've been in pain. I've had like neck pain, leg pain, back pain, just all kinds of pains because I'm 65, and people were like that I know that are 65, like my dad. When my dad was 65, he died when he was 91. But when he was 65, he his back and he was in such pain, just always on the couch watching TV, and that's not what I wanted to see for my future. And I'm like, I'm not going to be a typical 65-year-old where you're basically just walking the mall and just trying to, you know, get out for a couple hours. I wanted to be like a 30-year-old,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
So tell us about this energy that it's doing for you. What kind of energy? Like you were saying, you get up at 4 in the morning. Wow.
I get up at 4:30 in the morning. Um, the very first day that I put the patch on, I had this weird sensation, like electricity going through my body. I could feel it in my neck as soon as I put the patch on. And I called Delma and I said, Delma, it's so weird that as soon as I felt it, I felt like it hit every ailment that I have from all these ailments that I developed from all the chemotherapy because I had it weekly for nearly 8 years chemotherapy. Doctors couldn't believe that I'm walking without a walker. And it's just amazing because the water, I'm telling you, when you hydrate your body, it keeps you from a lot of diseases and a lot of ailments. But anyhow, I put this patch on, and within the second or third day, I was out of bed. Like, I mean, 3 days prior to that, I was waking up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And by the time I would shower and get ready and start, making dinner, it was already 4 or 5 o'clock. And I said, where did the day go? I slept it away. But now I can do a lot of things. And by 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm done and I'm ready to relax and do whatever I want to do. So it's really amazing. And let me tell you one story. Um, I have my mother purchased the SD 501 when she found out that I was diagnosed, and she said, I'm going to buy that machine that Mike recommended. And I said, are you sure? She said, yes, but do you want to put it in your place? At the time I was leasing a place. I said, no, at this point in my life, I don't know where I'm going to be. I don't want to put a machine here and have it installed because my life changed when I was diagnosed with cancer. I was making great money and I had to try to figure out what was I going to do. I had to figure out, am I going to be able to afford staying in my place?
What
I
did you
didn't
do?
think I didn't
Tell,
think so.
tell us what you did, what you were doing for work.
Oh, I was a saleswoman and I traveled to Mexico. I had all clients because I'm Mexican American. I kept my last name DeRossi for my children when I divorced. So my clientele was in Mexico, all around different states in Mexico. I sold industrial tools as well as culinary knives and so forth for a company that's based out of Long Island, New York. And so I traveled every month. I was traveling. So I got to the point where, wow, I'm not going to be able to work anymore if all this that they say, you know, once I have a mastectomy, it's going to affect my arm. I'm going to develop this thing called lymphedema on my arm. It's going to swell. I won't be able to write. You know, I won't have mobility in my hand, which I'm going through right now. It just started a couple of years ago. But anyhow, my mother said, well, why don't we leave the machine here at my house, and we'll transport, your boys can come and get the water for you and bring it. I said, okay. So I did that up until about in July of this year, until I got my own machine. And I'll tell you something, transporting water, it only lasts up to 3 days, you know, to get the benefits out of the Kangen water. But it doesn't feel the same when you take it out of your own machine and drink it fresh. You know, it really doesn't. It really gives you energy when you're drinking it freshly out of the machine. So what happened was, back in July, I moved. I have an ailment. I have a frozen shoulder in my arm. I can't even lift it. So my hand swells. So I do everything with my left hand. So in my laundry room, I have a landing where I can fold clothes. So I used to put the bottled waters there. My kids would put it there for me. And then they would transfer it to a little small gallon bottle. Okay. So one day they weren't available, and I went and I got that 5-gallon bottle with my left hand, and I lifted it and I brought it to my sink. I'm telling you, all I heard sounded like branches of a tree cracking, okay, breaking. So immediately I had this pain shoot up from my back all the way up to my neck. And after that, I had excruciating pain up until 3 weeks ago when I put the patch on. I had my doctor, I was very concerned. I said, you know, when you have metastatic breast cancer, it's kind of scary when you get pain. Another thing is, maybe I shouldn't say this because you don't talk about politics or religion, but I'm a true believer in God. So I always pray to God and said, Lord, please don't let it be that, you know. So I went to the doctor and I said, you need to take an X-ray or CT scan on my arm. There's something seriously going on. I know that I had the pain from lifting the bottle, but it turned into something bigger and deeper. And I thought, well, maybe I tore my rotary cuff, right? Is that what it's called? Rotator cuff. So they took a scan and an X-ray, and they said, no, you didn't break anything. So I said, how about my clavicle? Is it okay? Because I have broken my clavicle before with my arm being so heavy that it's broke the way I would sleep. And I would position myself a certain way, and I broke my clavicle. Isn't that amazing? That's terrible. So anyways, to make long story short, I don't have anything wrong with me. So now that I applied the patches 3 weeks ago, I don't have that pain anymore. I can feel it. It's very light. I can say that I have that severity of the pain that I had is now gone. I probably have about 10% left, but it doesn't keep me up at night anymore. So the good part, this is the most miraculous part for me, is that for the last 10 years, I've been into menopause. Once you receive chemotherapy, no matter what age you are, you're in menopause as a woman. And I was 50 at the time. And so I hadn't slept. And when I asked the doctor, how long am I going to go without sleep? This was back in 2011. He said, oh, I'm sorry, Ms. DeRossi, but you know what? Sometimes it takes 13 years until you get your sleep back with menopause. I said, man, I'm going to look tore up from the floor up, right? So I said, okay. So I've been dealing with having to take temazepam to sleep. I tried everything natural, nothing worked. So I was on temazepam up until 3 weeks ago. So all of a sudden, when I would take the patch off, so Thelma recommended me to wear this patch from 7 to 7. So one night I left I woke up one day, I slept in, and by that time I totally forgot about my patch, like the 4th day. And I called Thelma and I said, oh my gosh, it's 11 o'clock. Is it okay for me to put the patch on? She goes, absolutely, put the patch on. So I said, okay, I'll wear it from 11:11. That was a no-no, because it takes my body, after I take that patch off, I need about 3 or 4 hours to wind down. I couldn't sleep. That was the first night I didn't sleep. Now I know better to put the patch on at 7 in the morning and take it off at 7 at night, because let me tell you, my body has so much energy with a patch on. And as soon as I take it off, it takes 4 hours to wind down.
That's
So
awesome.
I to me, it's just miraculous that I'm up right now speaking to you live, and I have the energy, and I'm folding clothes, and I'm getting on the phone and trying to find buyers for the patch and for the Kangen machines, and I have myself back. I mean, I have so much energy that I'm thinking of dyeing my hair again and putting brown on it instead of letting the grays grow out. I'm serious. I feel
That's good.
wonderful. I
That's good.
sleep hard, and I'm told that I snore now, so I'm really getting deep sleep.
That's right. That's right. Can
Yeah.
I'm curious. Now, how did you find out about the patch?
Okay. So, Thelma, I moved during the time that I was fighting cancer in 2014. I moved to Colorado, and at that time, I thought I was going to get married. So I picked up my life and I moved to Colorado. During the time that I was in Colorado, I was trying to find Kangen water because I didn't have my mother's machine there. So I found Thelma, but she was 3 to 4 hours out from Denver. She's in Grand Junction, too far to communicate, to take water back and forth to me. And every 3 days, it was just too much. So I found a woman that was in Colorado that would bring me the Kangen water. And every 3 days, she would bring me fresh Kangen water. So once that's how I know Thelma. So then Thelma and I have been communicating, and I've been watching her posting and saying, I feel so good. I feel young. And she kept telling me, I feel better. So I made a phone call. I asked Thelma to call me. And I said, Thelma, tell me about these patches, because I was in tears. I said, I'm so tired of being tired. I'm tired of feeling sick. I mean, I'm done. And I was on a chemotherapy maintenance because I get an infusion every 3 weeks called Herceptin. It's for women that have the HER2 gene, the hereditary. And it's a preventive from keeping it from jumping to different organs. So it's worked for me, knock on wood. But I told Thelma, this new drug that the doctor, my oncologist, recommended, instead of going into the office every 3 weeks, she thought of this, came up with this pill that other people with metastatic breast cancer, it's working wonderful for them, but it was killing me. I don't know if it was because I went almost 8 years of weekly chemotherapy that my body said, hey, wait a minute, I can't do this no more. And I couldn't get out of bed. That's why I keep saying I was in bed. That chemotherapy was killing me. I picked up the phone. Everybody was saying, what's wrong with you? You were fine back in July. And I said, I don't know. So I had my blood test done and everything was fine. I'm still cancer free. And the doctors call it miraculous because I'm stage 4 metastatic breast cancer with NED, no evidence of the disease, and they don't know how. And I'll tell you how. And I truly believe in my mind, in my body, that drinking Kangen water is saving my life. So you know what I do? The first thing that I do, I don't care if I have to urinate first thing in the morning. You know what I do? I walk to my machine. I fill up a 32 I have the tin hydro flask. I put 32 ounces of 9.5 in, and I stand there till I finish. I drink it, and then I go to the bathroom and do my business. But let me tell you, that water gives me energy from the first time I wake up in the morning, and I drink it all day long, all day long. And also because I have the stainless steel SD501. I have these glass blue bottles, and I put the beauty water in there, and I spray my face with makeup on all day long. It doesn't take your makeup away. And the chemotherapy that I was previously on dried my face really bad and gave me a lot of wrinkles. While they're reversing it now because the patches are helping, and the beauty water, it's amazing. I mean, my skin is starting to look healthy again. And this is only a matter of a couple of weeks, So anyhow, with
I love it.
with a combination of the the beauty water, the patches, and the Kangen water that I've done for years. So
You
I'm
know
I'm telling you, I'm feeling amazing,
what?
amazing.
Now, what? How are you sharing the story? How are you sharing your story and to other people? How are you
Well, most of the
finding them?
people, the most of the people that I'm sharing the story with know my story, but they don't know I'm using patches. They know I drink Kangen water, and there's a lot of people that don't believe it. They don't believe that they can buy alkaline water in a water store, but how do they know it's real alkaline? So I always tell them, let's do a water test, but they don't want to. But there's other people that see me up and they say, I'm going to talk to my husband, but they don't get back to me. So I need to improve in that area of my sales to sell these machines. But I do have a couple of people that are interested right now.
Here's what I've been finding that really works, and what I'm doing these live video streams for also is really working. I've already got two people today just from. I did a live streamcast this morning. I did a
I saw,
broadcast,
yeah.
and I got two people to order from that one.
Mhm.
Right? They sent me a message and they said, "Hey, how do I order?" And I just send them the link. What I want you to get used to doing is a lot of what we do on Facebook, we can target by understanding who really would benefit from drinking Kangen water and wearing stem cell patches, and understanding that it's a guarantee, like guarantee in this sense, it's satisfaction guarantee or you get your money back. So if somebody wears the patches for 30 days, nothing happens, the company is going to send you all your money back. It's not like you're wasting any money. The only thing that you might do is, because it's such a high percentage of success, is you might start feeling better. And that's what I tell people is the only thing you're going to risk is if you don't do it, because your health, and that's the other thing that I try to sift through people that are really interested in great health. Like, unless somebody's dying of some disease or debilitating disease with their body, they just go through life thinking, oh, it's one, bam, something happens. But what about that guy that was in Vietnam that came back all blown up, and now he's in rough shape? He's been wearing stem cells for 8 weeks, and now he's got his life back. He's like a 40-year-old, even though
Yep.
he might be 80. You see what I'm
I
saying?
believe it. I believe it.
It's it's really giving people an opportunity. I share the videos. I do these live streams because I really believe that people need to know what they can do when their body is healthy. I remember there was a billionaire. What was his name? Howard Hughes. This guy, Howard Hughes. He was a billionaire. If you research him, Google him, and you'll
Oh,
find out he
I was just
could not. He
talking
had,
about him a while ago. Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned
yeah.
him.
I mean, he couldn't even eat a decent meal. That's how sick he was. Imagine.
Right.
So all the money in the world, if you don't have your health,
I
and you
know.
don't have a quality of life, what good does the money do? Money
That's
can't buy
right.
you that.
That's right. That's the only thing that money can't buy is your health back. And that's what I try to tell these people. I was amazed with the woman that you spoke to in Italy, that the person that had cataracts, that person that had cataracts, I previously, can you hear me? I
Yes,
just
yes.
went to the doctor to have my eyes checked. Well, actually, last year, and one of the ophthalmologists told me that I'm developing cataracts really bad, fast. So I went back, since I had been drinking the water fresh, I went back to this year to check my eyes, and the ophthalmologist said, "Hey, you're, you're the severity of the cataracts that you had before, they're not so bad anymore. So we'll keep testing you." I said, "Okay, but I can't wait after the patches to go back again because they have to give me a field test because I'm a diabetic, And I want to see what the doctor says when he looks into my eyes since I've been wearing the patches. Now, I have another real quick story. I have a friend that I sold the machine to, okay? And she's 85 years old, and she had diabetes for 25 years. So she's the type of person that once she starts believing in something and taking it, she does it for life. She's not one of those that quits after 3 months and stops taking the vitamins. She does it for life. She's very healthy for 85. I mean, when we went to the airport, her and I went, she went with Colorado. Once I came back, I was on a clinical trial. I would fly back with her, and they would say, "You have to take off your shoes." And she says, "No, I don't have to take my shoes off. I'm 80 something years old." And they said, "Wow." Well, she drinks the water. You should see how shiny her hair is. She dyes her hair jet black. It's shiny. And she was a diabetic for 25 years. So one day she decided during the holidays to visit her family in Mexico. So she was at the airport. 3 days prior, she went to get the blood test with her endocrinologist to check her A1C. They were calling her and calling her and calling her at the airport. So she calls me on the phone and says, "I'm scared." I said, "What happened?" She says, "I just took 3 days ago a blood test to check my A1C and something's wrong with me." I said, "How do you know?" She says, "Because the doctor keeps calling the office and they never call me. They'll send a letter in the mail saying, your test is okay. This is what your A1C is at. We recommend this and that. Call the doctor and make an appointment." But they're calling me. It's like, when you're diagnosed with cancer, once you take a biopsy, you get that phone call, it's going to be something bad. So I said, hang up and call him back, and then call me back and let me know what happened. Okay. So she calls him back. She she didn't call me till she got to Mexico, so I was worried. And she said, "You're never gonna believe what happened." I said, "What?" You know why they were calling me? They asked me to stop taking my diabetes pill, the metformin and the glyphoside and Januvia. She was taking 3 pills to keep her sugar down. "I don't have diabetes anymore." I said, "What do you mean?" "There's no signs of diabetes. They called me to tell me don't take the medicine anymore." That was the first miracle that I had heard besides myself. And I couldn't believe it. Now, I want her to start taking the patches as well because she's active. She goes swimming every day and does aerobics every morning. And she's 85 and she drives back home. So I want to get her on the same path as I am with the patches and the water, and then she wants to join the team to start helping. So
That's wonderful. That's
yeah,
wonderful.
isn't that an amazing story?
What a story. And see, that's what I realized, that if we're in it for helping people,
Yes,
financially the wealth will come, because
right,
if you put the money first, that's always a downhill struggle. But if you
right,
put people first, the money will always come. And that's what I realized. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care about
right,
them. Because what's important to them is what matters, not about me, and not about how, I mean, yeah, I can tell my story, but what's really important, and that's one of the things I do with people. I say, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is having great health? Or sometimes I'll just, if it's somebody on Facebook, which 100% of the time, that's how I grow my team, is just on Facebook. I say, so what's great in your world today? Like what's going on today,
right,
and and what's painful that you would like to eliminate if you could? And they will either answer, man, I could use more money. I mean, there's always people that can use more money,
oh, absolutely,
or even asking them, hey, uh, would you, if you could add a side hustle to whatever you're doing now, if you could add a side hustle of 2, 3, 4, 5, 10,000 a month, would that be something that you could be open to? They're either going to say yes or no. If you
right,
word it, if you phrase it that way, like a side hustle, so they
right,
don't have to quit their job, they don't have to, quit whatever they're doing. And I teach multiple streams of income, just like Warren Buffett and Robert Kiyosaki and Tony Robbins and all these millionaire, billionaire guys. They teach how to have not just one, you can't put all your energy in just one thing and say, oh, please, make me wealthy and pay all my bills and, let me have a sustainable income, because that's a job. A job is when you put 100% of your own efforts, whereas what we're doing here is we're networking, we're talking to people. So let's say that you help 1,000 families, I help 1,000 families, and we teach everybody how to do that. You know how many people there are in 100 countries? There's over 1 billion.
Right.
What's 0.01% of 1 billion? It's 10 million.
Yeah.
What if you had half of that? Do you see how powerful? What this company is going to be, $1 billion company. They may even buy. My fantasy is that they could buy a Enagic. That's how big they're going to get.
Wow.
Because if Enagic produces the best Kangen, water is the best water to have with their product. Can you imagine them making it so that it's part of their routine? Like when you get their instructions, it says keep well hydrated. And when I saw that, I thought, oh my God, I am drinking Kangen water already, but how many people that don't know that? I met a woman, she had the patch on, but she wasn't getting the results fast enough. And I asked her, I says, what do you drink for water? And she says, well, I really don't drink that much water. I drink soda. Aha, you drink soda? And then, she said, sometimes bottled water. I said, you got to replace that.
Right.
And she said, what do I replace it with? That's when I sent her a video of the demo of showing how the SD501 works and why that water is better. So then she orders a machine. See, it's so easy. And I don't ever do demos, face-to-face demos, and I don't ever share the water. The reason why? Because someone told me the story. They said, if you give away free milk over and over, they're never going to buy the cow.
Right.
So it's the same. People get into the habit, and I think I did it maybe back in the beginning, when I first started drinking water 9 years ago. I would share it thinking, oh, people are going to buy. I shared it with 300 people. And of the 300 people, guess how many bought?
Wow.
0. And that's when I decided I can't sustain myself on 0.
Right.
So what I'm saying is when you have a better method, the training that this company has, I have to tell you, I'm blown away with some of the training and just doing these videos. These videos are so powerful that somebody could spend an hour a day or 2 hours a day or even 15 hours a week and still work a regular job and add an additional passive income. Can you imagine the guy who I was talking about? He hit the top position in the company in like 4 months. The top position in the company is a multi-6-figure income.
Wow.
Passive income. So if he doesn't want to, he doesn't have to sell any more product. As long as he keeps his personal consumption, that's all he has to do. He will get that income coming on a regular basis. So what I want to educate people is, look, this company is not even on the map yet. They're in 100 countries, but X39, the stem cell therapy product, the patch, just came out the beginning of 2019. This is the wave, the tsunami hasn't even started. This is not, So you, me, all these people that are using and benefiting and just see the product that works so fast. I got results like in a couple hours. Some people get results in a day. It works so fast. That's the thing, And one person asked me, oh, so once it gets rid of my pain, do I have to keep taking it? And I started laughing. I said, you can stop, but when the pain comes back, what are you going to do? You're going to put it on. I said, stem cell therapy, I said, it's a therapy. It's just like you don't just drink water one day and then you stop drinking water. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, right.
So we want to create habits. A habit is you eat, I try to eat more ketosis, like keto diet.
Right.
sort of more plant-based, and I also try to maintain that alkaline, right? And of course, drinking the water.
Yes.
And then with this stem cell, I'm seeing, like people don't think I'm 65. Like you look at pictures of me when I was 30, 35, I actually have a better physique now than I did when I was in my 30s.
Right.
That's crazy. It's, like my hair is not really, like I've dyed it a couple times, but that was like over a month ago and it's still dark. And I'm like,
Wow.
I used to have to dye it like every 3-4 weeks just to, it's not 100% white. But what I'm saying is, and even like my skin, I can notice my skin starting to get softer, and just the energy, like you were saying about the energy level, my clarity.
It's easy. Yeah.
I'm very transparent with people because I don't want people to think like, oh yeah, you're just doing that for the company. No,
Right.
whether you buy this stem cell or whether you get involved or not, the product is working. So
Oh, it
if you,
absolutely is. It is.
and
And
that's why.
I spoke to a couple of gals at the market right now when I was buying fruit, and they said, I said, look at this. They said, isn't it terrible? It's all the pesticides. I said, but I have a machine that you would not believe to take all that out. You would not believe it. You think you could buy soap, the soap for the vegetables. You can soak it in a regular water, tap water.
Mhm.
It's not cleaning it. But she said, can I have your number? So I'm hoping she'll call me. She was
Yeah,
very interested, this young gal. Yeah.
Here's what I recommend. If you meet people like that, belly to belly, you can ask them for your number or they can give you your number. But I ask them, are you on Facebook or do you have email?
Right. Okay.
Um,
That
yeah,
way you always contact. Right.
there, and I haven't shared it. I wanted to do a training to the group that people can actually share. I made all these videos for Kangen water. I made all these quick, short videos that all you do is you give them the link. And that way, when they watch the video, when they click on it, it tells you get a little notification that says, oh, so-and-so just started watching the video right when they start watching. How cool is that? That way, that and that's when you can connect with them, because as soon as they finish watching it, it says, like Thelma finished watching the video. Like when I sent her the first thing and I saw that she watched it, and then when she finished watching it, I saw Thelma stop, she just completed watching it. That's when I connected with her, and people do that all the time. So that's why I'm saying, can you imagine if we can teach our team to duplicate what we do, they can get the results that we get.
Right.
Is that
Well,
cool?
I'm all for it. I'm ready. I'm
Okay.
hungry. I
Okay.
am.
Well,
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing your story
You're
today,
welcome. Thank
Michelle.
you for calling.
It was awesome. I'm going to send you the link so you can, start using that same. It's a mobile app. What do you have? An iPhone or an Android or?
I have an iPhone.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, you can use it either or Android or iPhone. I'll send you that link, and you can start using that too. So great. Well, thank you guys.
Okay.
Thank you so
Okay.
much. Appreciate your time, and
Okay.
we will see you on the inside.
Okay. Have a great day. Take care.
You too. Take care. Okay, guys. If you want to get involved, if you want to learn more, you just go to foreveryoungx39.com, foreveryoungx39.com. That is how it's done. That's how you do it. That's how you get it. It's just go to foreveryoungx39.com. You can read more about it. You can learn more about it. You can actually order your own month supply of stem cell patches. The X39 is the stem cell patch. It's the stem cell activation patch. So just go to Forever Young. And with that, I will say, hey, it was great seeing all you guys. And I look forward to working with you and maybe even interviewing you on here. And with that,
I wanna be forever young. Think you, baby, wanna live forever. Summer like water. water, some are like the heat. Some are a melody and some are the beat. Sooner or later.